All right, greetings everyone. This is Bomani Tayamba, your Africa for Africans tour organizer and tour leader for your upcoming Ghana tours for May and November 2017. Today is February the 26th of the year 2017, and we are about 3 months away from our epic journey, and then another about 9 months away from the other journey. So it's what we're going to do is just go right into tour preparation. So we're going to go through some of the information that was sent via email as far as the attachments and the conference call information in general. First, what I want to do is just give a brief introduction about how we came to this point doing these Ghana tours. So what I want to do is take it back to 2002 to 2003 when I was here in Atlanta, connecting as far as learning about the roots and the culture, being a part of study groups, and just getting out to study and learn more about the roots and culture as far as African connection. I built that interest to wanting to travel to different countries. So I started, when I joined a small group in March of 2004. I went to Senegal, so that was a great eye-opener. Going to Gori Island and just to learn about what happened to ancestors out there housed in dungeons and shipped across to the Americas in slave ships. And it's for the first time you get a chance to see the different aspect of the history that that you learn about. Instead of it just being a situation where learning about just slavery on the plantation and that aspect of just African history, you get to reconnect, to go further back to where you can see how everything all came together, and you get to build a real life story of what realistically happened based on this physically being there and just doing your own research. So that was the interest in it. For the first time going to dungeons like Gori Island, it just eye-opener. It just shake you up. So that aspect of that first initial journey, and then also going to Egypt a month later in April of 2004, and just learn about our great ancient history and our great kingdom and just the greatness of our people, and then just also having studied that aspect and just being physically there, it was incredible. So those were the foundation of my journeys. In 2005, went to Senegal again, and also went to South Africa in May. Then in November of 2005, went to Senegal, South Africa, and Kenya. 2006, I connected in the Gambia for the Roots Festival, which gave me just a nice feel of tropical Africa, into where you can just really just build a program to connect our people. So once I was able to get to Ghana in December 2006 on the first journey, that was really what I was looking for. So back up before that, we started Africa for Africans in October 2006, and we already had it cleared to do a journey in December when flights were available on Delta Airlines. That was a direct flight from JFK to Ghana. So, and it was just one of those first flights from American-based airline with a direct flight to the African continent. So that and just being at airlines, it just drove the energy and everything. So that was all put together, and the research and the legwork, all of that was done within that time frame. Once we found out about the flight options in the summer of 2006. So that was literally 10 years ago, and once we made the initial journey, we have done about 10 years of October tours from 2007 to October 2016. And these journeys are a combination of a business and investment conference, which we push repatriation and investment, but also aspect of nightlife, a lot of networking, and the elements of this, all the things that we feel to give people a full clarity, a good feel, a good experience, and also clarity of what could be built and what could be opened up and connected with in the future. So not to talk about all the different journeys we have taken, it's been a total of 11 in Ghana. One did have Ghana, Togo, and Benin, which was October 2009. and we're looking to redo that schedule. Just more time in Togo and Benin, 2 days in Togo, 4 days in Benin, and 8 days in Ghana. And it's just a better feel when you go around and do something like this the second time around, better logistic. So attached is the itinerary for that schedule, updated version, and the one for May also. And I'm hoping that a lot of people got a chance to look through the information. That way they can draw questions as far as the schedules, anything that needs clarity. And everything that I talk about is going to be based on the foundation of what we have set up on the website, africafortheafricans.org. Go to the site right now. I'm going to use it for this navigation of just explaining where a few things are, which is probably more likely the self-explanatory, but I always want to tell everyone where the bulk of the information is for the tour and where the foundation of everything is that we talk about. So once you're on the website, africafortheafricans.org, on the left, you're going to see the Love and Revolutionary MP3 mix. It's just a mix of some incredible songs that deal with us coming together and us reconnecting to make this energy of you looking through the information a little more vivid. The slideshow, which you can click on and open up to turn into your full screensaver of your computer. You're looking at it's 12 years of documentation as far as this pictures of from our first travels in 2004 all the way to October of 2016. So 12 years of the 8 different countries I've been to, and it's just random pictures just to give you a feel, just to give you this energy of the groups of people that have traveled with us, the flow of how we do things, and likewise the same as when you physically just looking through the different videos when you're on YouTube. So once you pass down from that presentation and you look to the left, what you're going to see is a link that will take you to all of the conference call recordings. So it's a Podomatic channel or podcast. So once you click on it, it takes you to the last recordings all the way to all the way down, so you can just navigate and check them out for those who want to listen to the previous calls. They're titled as best as we can title them to show more of the certain interests of things that we're talking about. And now once you get to the home menu, what you're going to see is the list of tours that we currently have, which is Ghana, Togo, and Benin Roots Tour November 2017, Brazil Roots and Culture Tour July 2017, Ghana Tour May 2017. So that's our schedule. And once you click on the tour of your choice, when you open it up, you'll see all of the documentation as far as tour overview, which tells what's included in the price. And also you see itinerary, which gives you a full day-to-day schedule, links to the hotel, give you the full flight schedules of all the flights that we're getting on. You see visa information and also general terms. And those are the 4 common articles and most important ones. And they're all of the tours have at least those articles. The Ghana has a little more than that because we've been able to develop a better program based on experience. So the Ghana tours have additional articles like press release, language translation, and one of the articles that's attached, which is the departure and reminder list, and which is a list of 30 points of all of the things that we have gone through during the time we're doing conference calls, the 30 most important points. And it's also a perfect checkoff where you literally want to go through it 2-3 months before you leave and make sure that you plan to make sure that everything you have is organized, and if anything that you would have forgotten, because I use the same check sheet, as long as you read the paperwork, it's something that you won't forget, because it's going to remind you of all the things that you might have forgotten. And this is just based on our experience over a period of time. So these are some of the preparation materials that are shared that we like to get people connected into. And then further down, once you go past the main menu, what you're going to see is other supportive articles like the conference calls, everything that you need to find out about updated conference calls, the recordings, or when the next conference calls are. Just click on that link. Collecting school supplies and financial donation. It just gives a list of schools that we're giving the donations and the school supplies too, and show you just years of just pictures and documentation, and just give you a feel of this what that presentation looked like, especially if you haven't been there. But also we have relative videos on YouTube with presentations from several different schools. So when we're there in Ghana and we go to different schools, whatever financial donation you have, just when we go around and have the the bucket or the hat, you could just make a donation there, and then it's just given directly to the administration of the school. All right, so and then if you have school supplies, you want to, we're going to offload those the first 2 days. Our tour guide Kwabena is going to go through them and and separate them for the different schools that we're going to. That way, it's not taking anybody's space up. So if you fill your one bag of school supplies, once you get there, you have a free open bag. So that way, we do all the shopping and all the moving around. You can just get busy and start buying everything that you want, and filling up that bag. And if you need more space, you can get another bag, and then you can just pay for the additional check-in bag. All right, further down, we have the registration link. For everyone that's interested in traveling with us, click on the registration link. So we have your details. That way we can book your reservations. Payment options and plan. There's a list options you can make payments with, and just give you an idea of different, how you can kind of spread it out. And then you also have a credit card, debit card logo on there where you can make payments in that form. And further down, there's more supportive information. Marcus Garvey, our vision, repatriation, investment, about us, a few general articles I've written, and contact us. So that's the bulk of the site. Is all dedicated to the journey. And once you go below that, there are links to different social pages, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. And mainly what I operate through is this the Facebook and YouTube, because it does what we do, which is just lots of pictures and lots of videos. To me, that's the more realistic thing you can show people, to show people the realness of being in Africa. So while you're on YouTube, once you click on there, there's a subscribe button. Go ahead and subscribe, and all of the conference calls that we actually edit and put up, or all of the projects that we work on that deals with traveling, living, doing business in Africa. You'll get all that detail. That's the subject that I focus on. Other people are on YouTube doing all kind of other crazy stuff and all kind of other things that's interested in and things. So this is the energy, and this is the concept of what I've been given to me by the ancestors to push this energy. Is not the most popular, because when you look at my YouTube page, the subscription is low, but you can go to some other people site, they have 5, 10, 400,000 subscribers, and but it shows us where we are. But I push roots, culture, investment, connection, and networking, and things like that in Africa. And my whole goal, and my entire goal in life, and is to be a part of a move to where we build a sustainable Africa that we own, build, and develop. And it's ours. It's a lot of hard, dirty work, and it's hard to get people connected to where they see the vision of hey, let's go to Benin village and build a sustainable community in the middle of the country and things like that. So just trying to lay out an illustration of that connection, and that's why I'm looking for IMAHKÜS to call in, because she's been there for 3 decades, and that's a lot of incredible experience. So we're always trying to share with the world the different ways they can come in, connect, they can make it work for themselves. And let them know that you do have, we all have options. We don't have to just be stuck here in America or trapped in America. If we want to really live somewhere else and do business and be around our peers from the African diaspora and also the African continent, what we're sharing, it's a good move. So, what I'm going to do, I got my other brother business partner, Ron Ahmed. And I want him to give a light introduction about himself as we begin to talk about preparation for your upcoming May and November journey to Ghana. And then I'm going to try to see if I can get in touch with IMAHKÜS, see if she can still join us if she's having difficulties or something. Brother Ron, can you hear us?
Am I muted, brother?
No, you're not muted. I have you on. I had your line open. So you.
Oh, okay. Welcome, family. My name is Ron Ahmed Bizzle. I've worked with brother. Had the privilege of working with Brother Bomani for for a couple tours on the journey, and I've really enjoyed myself on those 2 tours. I had to skip last November because I was in Senegal at the time, but if the Creator is willing, I'll be back on board 2017, precisely for the November 17th tour to Ghana, Togo, Benin. I've traveled different various parts of West Africa, other parts of the world, pretty much my whole life. I have a residence in Senegal. I spent a lot of time in West Africa. I shared with here in the United States. One thing about traveling to Ghana, your experience is going to be, yes, like I say, those who have never traveled to Ghana before are going to be very, very wide-eyed opened because there's so much to learn and see about yourself when you travel abroad. You get to learn more about yourself because when you socially interact with people there locally, and which Bomani's tour provides you local access to people who live and work there and go to school and various different facets. One thing you have to remember, I wanted to tell you, Bomani, you're probably going to go over this, but this has to do with being on point when you arrive at your airport. Make sure you get there in plenty of time so you don't get so you can make sure you get checked in so you don't get locked out of the flight. I just wanted to. I'm sure you'll cover that later, but it just crossed my mind. I was looking at your itinerary here, and some people, if you're not I have a traveler, you make sure you have to get to that airport a few hours early so you don't get locked out, especially international flights. Make sure you're open to new ideas and new scenery and new smells and new people and all the facets, and open your arms and welcome it all so you learn from it. But I'm gonna stop right here so we can get our sister on. I haven't heard from her in a while. Very beautiful.
You can take your time.
Hello, Sister IMAHKÜS. Greetings.
How you doing, Ron?
Good. How you doing, my sister?
Oh, I can't complain. I'm a citizen now, you know.
Well, we're gonna let you cover all that, and I'm gonna turn this back over to Bomani so he can introduce you to the conference.
Okay.
All right, greetings, IMAHKÜS. Always good to hear from you, and always appreciate your energy. I know it's probably like midnight there in Ghana, so we appreciate you just staying up to connect with the members of the group that are coming in May of 2017, literally 3 months from now, and it is about 26 of us still looking to close out with another 10 to make it 36. So want you to give everyone just an introduction about yourself and give everyone an overview of what to expect at One Africa and get them prepared for all the wonderful things. The same thing with the folks that's looking to travel to Ghana with us in November. So we have doubled the fun in One Africa now.
Fantastic. Well, just welcome everyone. Looking forward to seeing everyone. I guess Bomani told you, first come, first serve. At One Africa, we are a health resort, healing center, resource center, home away from home. I call it a halfway house, halfway between where you're going and where you've been. I've been in Ghana for 30 years now, and I've worked with Brother Bomani for the past 10 years. We celebrated our anniversary in 2016. And this is for those of you that have never been to Africa or been to Ghana, it is a journey of a lifetime. It's not a tourist visit. It's a pilgrimage. It's our opportunity to set foot on soil of our ancestors. And as I tell everyone, we are not descendants. We are ascendants. We are rising. So we are the ascendants of those ancestors who were taken into slavery within the past 500 years. The tour is, the pilgrimage, I might add, is for an opportunity for you to take a look at where you want to go for the rest of your life. My mantra is that the rest of my life is going to be the best of my life. And I say the same thing to all of you. that there will be decisions that you'll make. Africa will change you. It's not for everyone, but for those that it is for, it will definitely be the best decision that you've made. A little bit about One Africa. We are a village, and little upscale village. We don't have air conditioning. We don't have telephone. We don't have hot water. But we have everything else that makes those few things really not important. We are geographically situated between two major edifices that held our ancestors, the Elmina and Cape Coast Castle dungeons. And there is a spirit on our land. There are not, I don't know of anyone, whether they were African or European or whomever, that has visited One Africa and not been changed. It was a gift that was given to me and my husband over 25 years ago. And that gift was for us to be able to share with our diaspora family and those who wanted to come home. So I'm always excited whenever tours, pilgrimages come this way, okay? Excited because I want you to be excited about Africa. As I was saying to Brother Ron, I just got my citizenship after 30 years in December. On December 28th, the President of Ghana bestowed upon us not just citizenship, but the right of return. He stated that we, as those ascendant of enslaved Africans, had the right to return to our ancestral homeland. And that's really very key. It's more than just citizenship. The Koreans and whatever other foreigners get citizenship, but we have the right of return and citizenship. And there were 37 in total that received that. We are currently working feverishly towards setting some policies in place so that other people, other diaspora and Africans would have the same privilege of citizenship without going through, there's a whole cadre of things that you have to go through. But that did not happen to us. And so we are working to set things in place so that it will be easier for those who come behind us to get citizenship.
Well, one of the things you can share is also share the accommodations at One Africa and the difference between One Africa and everywhere else that we're going to go on the itinerary.
Okay. Like I said, One Africa is more a village-type environment. Village environment with upscale. It's safe. It's tastefully decorated. The food is excellent. The best food that you'll eat while you're in Ghana is going to be at One Africa. One Africa also offers massage, reflexology, clay baths, and we also have special ceremony that is done for you when you come. We go into the castle dungeons where we have a special ceremony, and then we come back and we go to the ocean where we bathe ourselves, because there is an expression that says you don't take graveyard dust back to your home. But it's also to wash away America. It's to wash away all of the things that may have troubled us before we got there. And One Africa is home. It's home away from home. I mean, I think it's a great place, and so do all of the people, or I'd say 99% of the people that have visited there. It's not a five-star hotel, okay? And I really don't think that we come this far to go to spend our money in a five-star hotel. There will be hotels that you will stay in that are going to be nice, clean, comfortable, and I'm sure that you won't be disappointed. One Africa is a little bit different from that. And I'm sure, like I said, you won't be disappointed. Okay, you should keep an open mind. I always tell people, don't come with great expectations, and then you won't be disappointed. One of the other things that I'd like to share is your preparation for coming. There are, when you go to the Board of Health to get your shot, the only thing that the government of Ghana requires is a yellow fever injection. That's it. All of those other shots, the health department and maybe your doctors are going to suggest or what they recommend, it is not required, and it's really not needed. If you feel like you want to do it, fine. However, you can save yourself several $100s, $500 or $600, because I understand the shots are very, very expensive, and some people have gotten sick behind taking them. What I recommend, which is something that was given to me years ago by an elder who has been in and out of Ghana for the past 20 years and has never had malaria. And I'll be glad to share that with you. What I'd like you to do is get a pencil and a piece of paper so that you can write it down, okay? One is called cat's claw, and that's 1,000 milligrams daily. Ginger, 500 milligrams daily. CoQ10, 100 milligrams daily. Vitamin E, 400 milligrams daily. Vitamin B complex, 100 milligrams daily. Vitamin C with rose hips, 3,000 milligrams daily taken at bedtime. And echinacea with golden seal root, the highest dosage. You take it 3 weeks on and 1 week off. This is a good combination because it builds your immune system. And it's been given to most of our travelers, all of the people that I deal with, I give them this formula, and no one has gotten sick. So think about it, and just on a regular, it's good for building your immune system. The other thing, too, is that, and I guess Bomani will go over it, but I'll repeat it, for your pilgrimage, you should come prepared with white garments, at least 2 white garments. You want to bring with you tea candles, okay? And what I suggest is you bring a bag of 50, okay, because I use them all the time. So if you bring tea candles, because we'll also use them for the ceremony, bring the names or pictures of your deceased relatives, your deceased ancestors. That's what you're going to need for the ceremony. And the other thing, too, so I don't forget, is that you can use credit cards and debit cards. Visa is the most popular, or MasterCard. However, it is better to bring cash. And if you're bringing cash, bring highest denominators, 100s and 50s, because they get the highest rate of exchange. $1 bills, nobody wants them. $5 bills get a lower rate of exchange. $10 bills get a lower rate of exchange, as do 20. And remember also that it is perfectly all right to tip for services received. One of the things that I've found over years is that I don't know, for some reason, when we get to Africa, we tend not to want to tip. Somebody put out a falsehood saying that, tipping is not part of our culture. If you tip in America, then you tip in Ghana, because our people work very hard, and the salaries that they get are not the best in the world. In fact, I say that they're magicians, that they're able to do the things that they do or for the kind of money that they receive. When someone earns less than $100 a month, then they're magicians, okay?
Wow.
And the other thing that I know that Bomani spoke about, donations being made and things being brought for our schools. For my school, one of the things that we want more than anything, what we need, are laptop computers. We don't want old, outdated computers because they only will go in the trash because they do not work. And I understand that laptop computers are rather inexpensive in America. In Ghana, they're very expensive. We'd appreciate it. For Akoma Academy, we would like to receive some laptop computers.
Appreciate that. What I'm going to do is get ready to open it up for questions from everyone. So I'm hoping that, like we talked about the last few times, hoping that everybody got their questions ready, and we're going to go right into it. Brother Ron, can you still hear us?
Yes, I'm right here, brother.
Yes, and everyone, Ron just was a great part of the revival energy to keep Africa for Africans Tours Investment going. We didn't have a strict for 2014, October 2014, and because I was looking to this, the start energy was dead for our people wanting to come to Africa, and Ron brought a nice, beautiful energy and connected me with some incredible people, because a lot of times that's what you need. When you're a small underground name, you need connection. Bring the information to people so they can join the journey and take the experience. So I appreciate you reaching out to all of your brothers and sisters that joined us in October 2014 and 2015, the 2 years you came. And appreciate all of your hardcore work as far as your experience on helping getting things organized on the tour. And I wanted to find out from you if you could share some of your experience at One Africa, and then let me know if you have any questions for IMAHKÜS, and then I'm going to open it up for anyone who have any questions for all of us.
Yeah, and you're most welcome, Bomani. Thank you for that acknowledgement. I really appreciate it.
Now, don't forget, Ron, you've been paid very well to talk about One Africa.
Okay, I won't forget that. I'm definitely not going to leave you out of the out of the equation, sister. You're so precious. And congratulations to your citizenship. I went crazy when I found out about it on Facebook, and I called Bomani up right away, and we talked about it. But, I was saying we were really excited to hear the news about it, because it's been so long. We get so upset that you brothers and sisters have been over there so long, you've been waiting on this. So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. But let me just tell you this before you get started. On my Facebook, I got 197,000 views on my message to the world about citizenship.
Well, I do believe it, because Bomani and we had these talks even prior to last year when Donald Trump was running for, I'm not going to get into politics, but when Donald Trump was running for presidency, I said, this is going to change everything. It's going to change everything. So I'm telling, it gives people a new perspective. But back to what Bomani wanted me to say is that, years ago, some years prior to 2014, I had found you on the internet, and through you, I found Bomani. That's how I linked up. I found you and your wonderful husband on the internet, and I was just so excited, and it led me right to Bomani, and I called Bomani up. We talked to him about an hour. He pulled to the side of the road. And One Africa was one of the things that was the first thing that led me to Ghana, was One Africa on the internet.
Yes,
and it was, and I'm telling you, the experience there at One Africa, you're gonna have to give me a bonus of payment, sister. The experience
okay.
at One Africa, it's just wonderful. She may sound like she's talking it down a bit. It's only because some people have never experienced that type of level of accommodation. So it's a wonderful place. Most 99, I've never heard of. Mostly all the people I've seen, they don't want to leave there. So that's how I view it, and people around me, and all the people that's been on the journey. It's a very wonderful place. It's a very spiritual place, right there on the coast of West Africa. Just wonderful. So yeah. So I won't rant on too long, but I'm just wanted to share that with you, sister, how I met Bomani and how I,
Thank you.
Eventually made my way over to One Africa there in Ghana.
Yeah, and appreciate you sharing that. One of the other things I want you to share was once you went to One Africa, you mentioned that you were up early and you and IMAHKÜS were connecting, and this.
Yeah, family. Check this out, family. We're up early in the morning. Early in the morning, we have a little rap session, exercise if you have or whatever. But early in the morning, Sister IMAHKÜS was up with his brothers and stuff, and we were chatting about all kind of beautiful, interesting things, and it was just wonderful, so wonderful. And those are the type of things that you never forget about, those connections that you make while you're there. And that's just something people return back to that area where One Africa has done that, and really enjoy myself.
I'm glad.
And I appreciate the brother, Ron. And what I'm going to do, everyone, if you have a question, just press *6 and unmute yourself, and then I'll see you're unmuted, and then I'll just go to you, and then give us your name and where you're calling from, and if you can also let us know how you found out about the journey, and then ask whatever question you have for in general, and me, IMAHKÜS, and or Ron will just answer it and give you full clarity. All right, everyone, the line is open for your questions.
Hello.
Greetings. Can you?
Hi, this is Ebony.
Greetings,
and
Ebony.
I do have a question about how to understand currency when being in another place away from the United States.
Perfect. Great question. IMAHKÜS, can you answer that question?
Okay. The way that the currency works currently, which it's right now, it's 4.25. That's 4.25 times the dollar. So let's say if you had $100, you would be getting 425 Ghana cedis, because that's our currency. So whatever the rate is, now the rate when you get here could be higher, but whatever the rate is, if it's 4.50, it's times whatever you're exchanging, whether it's 100, 200, 300, okay? That's how we convert our money.
Mm-hmm. Sister, can you tell her what what type of notes are?
The notes that we have currently is a 50 CD note, 20 CD notes, 10 CDs, 5 CD notes, 2 CDs, 1 CD, and in paper money. And then we have 5, 10, 20, 50, and 1 coin. Let me say this about Ghana money. When you turn that money, your American money, into CDs, we have an expression here. It says the wind gets into your hands. That's how fast the money moves. Okay.
Excellent. Ebony, so that's hopefully that clears up your question.
Let me just verify this. So you said the dollar notes are 50, 20, 10s, 5s, 2s, and 1s. So basically, the other part of the currency, I really want to understand. So, like, if I go to whatever The point is, I don't want to get gypped. I know that you guys have been there, but me as a person, maybe I do tip someone, or maybe I do go into store by myself, and they're like, oh, it's this much money, but then, I give the wrong amount, So my question is, like, with the notes being the same pretty much as ours, except we don't have $2 that much anymore, should I take it in a sense like, okay, you're using American money, but it's only called savings, pretty much?
No. Let me say this. You're not using American money. You're going to exchange your dollars for CDs, and you're going to spend CDs. And there will be other people. There are other tour guides and people on the trip that will be able to help you in terms of getting a better understanding of the money. It's really quite simple. And people don't just willingly cheat you. You can get cheated in America, all right? So I wouldn't worry about it. Just remember, you're going to be spending CDs. You're going to bring your dollars, you're going to cash them in, and you're going to get local currency. And any one of us would be able to help you so that by the time you leave here, you'll be spending that money just fine. The other thing, too, is that we have a barter system here. You barter for everything. You'll learn that when you get here. Okay?
Perfect. Ebony, perfect.
Okay.
Thanks for your question. If you can just hold and let me just try to get some people in, and then we'll just open back up to where you can just ask other questions. All right, we have a number ending in 0506, Cunningham. Give us your name and where you're calling from, and then your question.
Hi there, this is Joan. I'm in Atlanta, and I'm interested in the cost for insurance in case of illness once we have paid for our trip.
Yeah, you can. You can purchase trip cancellation insurance. And depending on the amount of money that you want to insure will depend on what your premium will be. You can go online and or Bomani, maybe you might want to.
One of the links that we have for travel insurance that a few members here in Atlanta have used over the period of time that traveled with us is our Passport Travel USA. On the preparation departure list, which is attached to the email that was sent to everyone, and also which is a part of the articles that are on the May and the November tour link, you'll see number 22 out of 30. It'll say passporthealthusa.com. Africa for Africans Tours does not offer travel insurance, but it can be purchased from an independent insurer. Passport Health is one of the companies that have locations in different parts of the United States that offer travel and health service. Few of our group members from the Atlanta area have used their services, and then they'll have the link, passporthealthusa.com. So that's one aspect. Other aspect, Ron, do you know anything you'd like to share with our travel insurance?
Yeah, Passport Health does have information on that. That's the organization that I go through, even to do my, if I do get shots or anything, vaccinations or anything of that type. But you can also go online and find some of the reputable companies that handle travel insurance. There's quite a few of them.
PassportHelpUSA.com, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Perfect. Do you have another question or anything you'd like to share before we?
No, I just wanted to know if your company provided insurance or not. Does it? And I do want to know if it includes the airfare as well.
It should cover your whole package, so you have to just make sure you're clear when you're talking to the company direct about what you want to be covered and things. They offer a lot of different options based on the experience of our previous members.
Right. I've had it before, and they offer you health coverage, cancellation of your trip, lost luggage. So you just have to decide what it is that you want to be covered for.
Perfect. So thank you, Joan. The line is open. Does anyone else have a question? We're looking to get all the questions answered. I don't see anyone else line unmuted. *6 to unmute yourself. Give your name, where you're calling from, and your question.
Good afternoon. This is Nefertari from Phoenix, Arizona. Greetings. I was just wanting to know if you could list the actual ingredients that the system mentioned for building your immune system. If you could print that out on on your site so that we can write that down.
I'll send it to you via email. Yes, no problem. I'll get it to you.
Thank you.
Do you have any other thing you'd like to share? You're coming on the November journey to Ghana. So far, is all of the documentation and details clear for you?
Yes.
Let me make a suggestion, because some people may want to return to Ghana after this initial trip.
Right.
So I would suggest that instead of taking or getting a single entry visa, that you get a multi-entry visa. So that if you decide you want to come back within that designated period of time, you would not have to pay for another visa. Or if you're leaving the country, like if, the group is going from Ghana to Togo to Benin and back, you would need a multi-entry visa to get back into Ghana.
Oh.
I appreciate you reaching out, and cause that's right there on the list to talk to everyone about. What I've been doing, I've been sending everyone their flight itinerary and then sending the visa email. And on the email, it's telling you that if you're going to Ghana, Togo, and Benin, you need multiple entry, and which you can get right away. But in general, it's we're always recommending just multiple entry in general, because you can get up to 1 to 5 years of in and out of Ghana versus having to resend your passport every time you make a trip to Ghana. So that's what IMAHKÜS was talking about. And the difference in the cost of that, while we're talking about it, the single entry is $60 and the multiple entry is $100. Single entry is good for 3 months, so if you get the single entry and you're doing the Ghana only portion in November, or just Ghana only in May, and you just don't plan on going back anytime soon, then make sure you get the visa 2 months before we leave. That way you get it back, and it won't expire before you get there, which have happened in the past. So those are the details that we have to pay attention to, and those are the things that when I send emails and things, just look it up, open it up, look it over, because it's all of the important details are right there. And I try not to send long emails. And then the call itself. So we try our best to go over everything, but make sure that you look through these things to make sure you're clear on what you're doing. And also, before I close you, Nefertari, do you have another question?
No, I do not. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, and we'll get that out to you.
Okay.
Anybody else have any question? Call it number ending in 9699. Can you go ahead with your question?
Yes. Hi, Brother Bomani. This is Lori.
Greetings,
IMAHKÜS and Ron. I just wanted to say that I wanted to be included on the email that you send out about the information on what we should take before we come.
I'm going to send it to everyone via email, and I'll probably attach a few other documents as far as building your immune system. I just have one email dealing with that, so I'll get it out to everybody.
Okay.
Absolutely. Let me know if you have any questions for IMAHKÜS about the journey and you staying at One Africa with no AC, no air conditioning. Is that fine with you?
Yeah.
I don't think we talked about that, so I wanted to make sure that everyone is clear on those things. That way we can get some questions from them.
The breeze off the ocean is absolutely wonderful. So, and we have high definition. You don't have to worry about a TV. We got high definition for you. You don't worry about that. It's what I call a drop off the grid place, okay? This is where we come to get in touch with ourselves.
And I'm absolutely looking forward to that, Sister IMAHKÜS.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you too.
Okay.
Excellent. And Lori, you got your flight schedule with that shows your flight schedule for you leaving from New York and connecting with us here. And you're clear on your visa preparation?
Yes. I'm going to be sending out my passport for the visa this week.
All right, perfect.
Let me just say this, which this formula is generally taken, it's recommended that you start taking it at least 4 months before your planned departure. So for those who are coming in May, you can still take it, but it's more effective taken 4 months prior.
Perfect. And line is open. And let me get back to Ebony. She had a few more questions.
Yeah, I do have a question because our time zones are different, so I caught the last end of it. Also, I want to know, is it possible on this recording, can I go back and listen to it from the beginning? Is it set up that way?
Yeah, I'll send you the recording. It's on. Everything's on podcast. You go to the website, you click on podcast, and you'll see the recording in a few days.
Okay. The other thing is, can you please explain the right to abode? Just help me understand that more.
Okay. The right of abode is a law that was passed back in 2002. And you have to have lived in Ghana for 10 years before you can file for an application for the right of abode. And the right of abode says that you have the right to live and work in Ghana for yourself or someone else. You have to prove financial worthiness. You have to get a Ghanaian national or two to vouch for you. You have to get 2 Ghanaians who are either notary publics, lawyers, senior public officers, who will, in effect, vouch for your character and should have known you for at least 5 years. You also cannot have been sentenced to imprisonment for a term of 12 months or more. I think that's about it. You have to have a police report, and you have to produce evidence of your financial standing. And the applicant has to have been at least 18 years of age when filing. And it used to be 7 years, but it has now been moved up to 10 years. I might also say that not many people have received the right of abode. And as far as I am concerned personally, I wouldn't apply for the right of abode. I would apply for citizenship, because you can apply for citizenship after 10 years of living in Ghana.
That's perfect. That's the qualifications. Thanks for the clarity on that one. Now, Ebony, do you have another question before I switch to someone else? All right, go ahead, Anne-Marie.
Sure. I know that the sister mentioned something about laptops, and something happened with my audio, so I was actually cut out from some of the conversation. But I also wonder about customs and declaring, items and coming in. Are we usually okay going through customs, or are they, do they charge us more?
Well, to the best of my knowledge, they don't charge you if you had 1 or 2 laptops in your bag. I've brought laptops into the country and not had a problem.
Perfect, because let me share what my experience was. last year I bought about 3 laptops, and they were in 2 of them fit my backpack, and 1 was in my other carry-on. So what I did, and which I recommend for you to do if anyone is carrying laptops at the airlines, that's how it goes down sometimes. Someone just open your bag because the scan shows you have a laptop in there, your laptop is gone and your bag is going back up and it's on the plane, and open it up and it's gone. So things can happen. So the best thing to do when you have electronics like camera, camcorders, laptops and things like that, things of quick value that people try to grab and sell and things like that, you want to bring that in your carry-on bag. So you can get a backpack that can fit 3 or 4 laptops. We've done it in the past, and it's no issue once you get there. They just have to scan through it to make sure that it's safe. And other than that, you're good to go. If you were trying to do something else like Delta Cargo or shipping across, then the things that you just mentioned, customs and things like that, those things become realistic, which I don't have experience with. So, IMAHKÜS, do you have any experience with that as far as?
That's true. You don't generally, you don't have any problems with that. You put it in your carry-on bag or in your backpack, and you're good to go.
Perfect. Emery, do you have another question?
Okay, and the other question is, like, there are times that you can find tablets that are kind of reasonable. Why wouldn't a school maybe look into tablets versus a laptop?
Good question.
Well, I think that the laptop is more practical with the grade levels that we're dealing with. I think tablets are nice and, compact, but I think laptops better serve their purpose. These children have never had computers or laptops.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Lori, go ahead with your question.
Yes. Regarding when Sister IMAHKÜS said that after 10 years you can apply for citizenship, during those 10 years, are you able to, for instance, like reside 6 months in Ghana and maybe 6 months in the state, or do you have to remain in Ghana the whole 10 years?
Well, you're supposed to remain in Ghana. For example, what happened when I initially filed, because I do a lot of traveling, they take a look at, they asked me how often I traveled, where did I go, how long had I been gone. And then what they do is that they aggregate that time. So for me, it wasn't an issue because I've been here so long. But you have to be living here. Now, if you're going to spend 6 months in America and 6 months in Ghana, then that's going to be looked at when you file for your citizenship.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone, the line is open for your questions. So I see a lot of people on the call. Sister
IMAHKÜS, if someone's looking for residency in Ghana instead of citizenship?
What about?
How does residency work?
You can file for residency. First of all, the first year or so that you're here, you would have to go back to immigrations every 3 months, then maybe 6 months, then every year. And you would have to get an extension on your stay. After being here several years, you can then file for residency. Now, even with residency, you'd have to go back every 1 or 2 years. It depends. There are 2 types of residency. There's what we call indefinite residency. And once you have indefinite residency, you don't have to go to immigration every year or every 2 years. And you can file for indefinite residency. I believe it's after 7 years.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Right, and everyone still see a lot of people on the call. Please unmute yourself. Colleen, I see you unmuted. You have a question?
Yes. Hi, IMAHKÜS. I have a question. Hi. On the last pilgrimage, the conference call, you had mentioned something about getting in contact with the seamstress, a dressmaker, and I was wondering if you had any contact.
Lucy, she's still there. Yeah, I'm saying you wanted to know if I got in touch with the dressmaker?
Yes. Or if you have any contact.
Sure.
I mean, you need to talk to, if you need to talk to dressmaker, that's one thing, but we have dressmakers in Accra and also where IMAHKÜS is to get your orders in place. But if you need to communicate with them ahead of time or something, just let us know. We'll work that out for you.
Okay.
But everybody's in place ready to do business with you.
Yeah, there will be dressmakers in Accra and other places. I'm biased. Lucy has sewn for me for the past 30 years. And I don't know anyone that does it the way she does it.
That's what's up.
And I'm probably one of the best dressed women in Ghana. Thank you.
Ashe. Ashe, Ashe.
Yes, Ashe. All right, thank you.
So the thing is, if somebody wanted something special made, what I would suggest is that, one, either you bring a picture, what it is that you would like to have the sister make for you. We give it to her. She will make it, and you'll get it before you leave Ghana. Or there are other dressmakers that you can buy or get dresses made in Accra. Okay. The difference for me and Miss Lucy is that she is a designer and she is articulate. And, so if somebody sews to me for the past 30 years, they can't be bad.
Perfect. So we'll definitely get you IMAHKÜS link for you to talk with her ahead of time so you can make the arrangements.
Great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And also, Colleen, do you have another question before I meet you?
No, I'm fine. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Appreciate you. Anyone else have any questions before we begin to start wrapping it up?
Okay, can I jump in and ask a quick question?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, I know that here sometimes I'll go to a store and there's a person, like maybe a Nigerian seamstress, and I'll have a material and they'll tell me they'll charge me $75 to make a dress. What can we expect if we're there meeting with a dressmaker in like being reasonable, as far as making skirts and things like that?
Let me give you this example. I just had 4 outfits made. I bought the material and I had 4 outfits made, and I paid less than $100.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea. It depends on what it is that you're going to have made, and if you bring the material, because then what you're paying for is the sewing.
That's not the problem. It's just I didn't want to hear, almost the same price, which I think is.
Oh no. Trust me, I can't speak for anybody else other than the person that I use, but I think, and I feel pretty comfortable in that someone won't charge you that much money for an outfit. If they do, don't buy it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're going to get you your negotiation bars. Tour guide and myself will get you ready for negotiating and things like that.
Right. How to barter.
Yeah, but nothing is a high price as far as things like that. That's the prices you get here. That's what I tell people. When you go to the craft villages and the place where things are made, you get them for the best price, and you can literally compare it based on your experience here. So it's good that you have some experience dealing with some people who have given you some ridiculous price. So that's good to compare it.
Mm-hmm. And just let me throw this out the question wasn't asked, but we do not have dual citizenship. The only ones that are eligible for dual citizenship are Ghanaian citizens. So if someone has told you that you can get dual citizenship in Ghana, you cannot unless you are a Ghanaian citizen.
So once you get your Ghanaian passport, IMAHKÜS, then you'll be a dual citizen, right?
I got my Ghanaian passport, thank you.
Oh, excellent. So now are you considered a dual citizen, or did you have to give up your American passport?
No, I still have to apply for, because now I'm a citizen, I can apply for dual citizenship.
Perfect. So you're going to be one of the first people that have dual citizenship?
No, there's 34 of us that got it.
But you're going to, I thought you was looking to process your paperwork to complete everything. You said now you're looking to apply for the...
Yeah, the process is that once you've been granted citizenship, you can then apply according to the law, because remember, dual citizenship is only for Ghanaian citizens. So now that I'm a citizen, I can apply for dual citizenship. That allows me to travel in and out of Ghana into the United States without having to have a visa.
Move around West Africa?
I am considered ECOWAS. My passport says ECOWAS. I can travel to any of the 14 countries in West Africa that are covered under ECOWAS.
Excellent.
Without having to pay visa fees.
Yes, that's perfect. And IMAHKÜS, before we start closing out the call, because I don't see a lot of people opening up for questions, what I wanted to find out from you, if you could just go, if you just give a 2-minute talk about investments. You know, when we do this stuff, sometimes people, I guess they don't hear us talk about investment as much, but I'm always letting everyone know that that's the foundation of the investment conference. But also, what are some of the investment opportunities there in Ghana that you have experienced that will be good investments for those who are looking to, you know, reconnect?
Okay. In terms of investment, agriculture is a good place to invest. Oh, in fact, I asked someone about it the other day, and I was told that a good investment was in cashews. It's an excellent investment.
Dr. Sharita?
Yeah, with Dr. Sharita. Coconuts is another good investment. Someone has suggested that if I got 4 or 5 acres of land and just planted coconuts, it was a good investment. Gold is another investment, but you have to be real careful, and you should be going through a reputable company. The person that handles that, David, has a book out which gives a list of investment opportunities or places to invest. So what I'll do is that, are we going to have another call?
Yes, I have a few calls scheduled before we leave for Ghana.
I'll get a copy of the investment book, Recommendations for Investments, and I'll share with you what's there. The thing that I think is an excellent investment would be waste management, because Ghana has plenty of garbage. Truly. And recycling. When we get back on the next time, I'll have a list of recommended investments.
And along with the investment now, when people talk about repatriation, what do people really need to be, I guess, to be organized? Because I get these calls where you have people saying that they're ready to leave, and for the most part, once I talk with them, it's like they're getting themselves ready to run into roadblocks of issues, and then probably one of the people that are going to come back crying and ready back for America. So I just want to clear up that experience for those who come unprepared.
Okay, one of the things that I provide is I have a service called Repatriation Counseling, which is preparation to repatriate. It is a fee for service. I do have a charge, and I counsel people who are interested in leaving America. Let me say this, without going into a lot of detail, you must have a plan. Okay, you need to know how you're going to take care of yourself, where you're going to live, how you're going to live. Do you know anything about the country? And I think that these pilgrimages that are made open a door and give you a general idea of what it's like. But visit me, come live with me are two different things. So if anybody is interested in repatriation, my fee is $100 for the first hour and a half. And then I'm available after that for no additional charge if you have other questions. And what I always suggest to people who want to have counseling is that you think about it, write down the questions and things that you have so that we could make our time together as meaningful for you as possible.
Perfect, Amicus. Very fair and very clear. And some of the things that will help you to be prepared for the questions that you want to write down and being organized in your plan is a list of YouTube videos that we have under repatriation and investments. So we have documented some of the things that Amicus have laid out, and so that helps you to really just get to the main point, which in that way you can just focus on what you need to really build and organize. What have been your experience with people who seem to not be prepared? Because I've not followed a whole lot of people that have moved back, but I've noticed several people have moved back since the time that we have connected over the last 10 years, and probably a lot more.
Well, we've had folks, in fact, we just had a couple that I counseled, and they said, I'm coming to Africa, and they were not ready. They stayed here about 4 months, and they went back to America. And as the brother told me when he was leaving, is that I'm going back to get my plan together, and I'll be back. And I'm happy to say that a year and a half later, he's come back. And the thing is that when you come unprepared, we have an expression, Mother Africa will chew you up and spit you out. So we need to prepare for it because, people will come back and they'll tell you that they had such a terrible experience, but they didn't tell you what they did to help to facilitate that experience. And that doesn't mean that it's easy to do this. It is not. I've written a book that it says returning home ain't easy, and it ain't easy, but it sure is a blessing. It can be done. There are challenges, and we have to always remember that this ain't America.
A serious business, Amicus. I love how you drop it. And also, everyone, you can go to Amicus' website, oneafricaghana.com, and you can you'll see the links for the books, and you can literally order the books, and they'll be sent to you. If you're really looking to get yourself prepared for living and doing business, in Africa, mainly Ghana, just use as much of the resources that we have laid out available. David has the book you can order from the website, and you can order Amicus books, so that will give you a great foundation. And there's all other resources we have, but this coming on the journey, and then after you do the initial research, will help connect everything, because now you get to feel connected to the country, and then you can, while you're making your way around, and you're going to have different people from the African diaspora that have repatriated throughout the entire tour. So take advantage of all of the networking and, connect with the people at the investment conference. Last investment conference we did, some of the people I mentioned that they were interested, but it's like when it's time, when we have everything set up, they disappeared and I didn't get it. But that's the purpose of why we have everything in place, is for the group of people who have invested in this tour. So that's what we do. We do our part to make sure everything is laid out, but we do want people to just take advantage of the opportunity and get your network on. And also, if you see certain aspect of things that your brothers or sisters or anyone in the diaspora can do to be a part of the growth and development of the future of Africa, definitely reach out to them. We're more, we're open to connecting people. And one of the things we love to see is the level of manufacturing, groups of engineers and group of people who have certain resources that can make certain moves. It's open for them. We have excellent presentation from the Ghana Investment Promotion on over the years, and it's not a lot of views for those things, but those are like real life presentation of clarity of how you can process doing business as a smaller company or bigger company.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing too is that there are approximately 5,000 repatriated Africans living in Ghana, coming from America, Europe, South America, and the Caribbean. So we're about 5,000 strong. Could be more than that now because the numbers have increased.
And I want to say there's been a lot of energy of people leaving recently, or people leaving and coming back and working on their game plan. So that's beautiful. What I want to find out from you, Ron, is what aspect of investment did you see on those two journeys in 2014 and 2015, just going around the country with us?
Yes, I saw opportunity in land investments, which you have to be careful with also. There's opportunities for, actually there's plenty of opportunities in Accra if you can afford it. Accra is booming. But there's also opportunities in, like Sister IMAHKÜS covered in agricultural. Like David, he's really enriched in that background. One of the brothers that Bomani and Sister IMAHKÜS know. There's one other one that was brought up was
Benin Village, because you went there. You wanted to, that was the only group that ever went to Benin Village, and that's one of the things I want you to talk about. That
Echo Village in the northern region, in Bronghafa region. That village is already planned out, and you can buy parcels, little small lots to build on. They're actually pretty large size, actually. But that's one
let
of
me
the.
say this, Ron, for clarity. They can lease the land for 50 years. They can't. They can't buy it.
Right. You have to be a citizen.
Thanks for the clarity.
Right.
All right. Now the land is leased in general, right? Even if you're a citizen, it's still a leased land you're getting, right? Is that
no? As a citizen, you can freehold the land.
Okay.
That's
perfect.
like purchasing. Right.
Right. You can pass it on to family members, right?
Yes. Even if you lease it, the leased land is also transferable to your heirs.
Okay. That's
the
when
difference is that, when the law changed, at one time, everyone could lease land for 99 years, even if you weren't a citizen. Then the law changed and said non-citizens can only leasehold land for 50 years, but they have the right or the option to renew.
Okay, and that was covered at one of the conferences, I think, one of the two conferences at Africa. Okay. Thanks for updating that for me. Yeah, I'm not. I don't have a background in Ghana. I've been learning as a person who's on a journey through Ghana with my brothers and sisters there, like Sister IMAHKÜS and David, and especially Bomani. They have a extensive background, a connection. They have a network that you family can use through them. A network. Don't go there spinning your wheels thinking you can be Tarzan. You end up like brother. The dear brother, I seen this video. The dear brother and his family had to return back here because they didn't have a plan. So you can go in there with an investment, do your homework, connect with people that have been there, that know reputable people, that know in the laws. You'll learn that at the conferences and the conferences that are provided through Africa for the Africans. So my expertise is in a different country, but this is not that topic matter. So, but yes, you can continue on, brother.
I was wanted you to shine more light on this, the experience you had at that Benin village. You know, one of the things when I went there, when you and I came back, you know, it was like, and I was able to just really spend time to see the, you know, the sun and everything. All I saw was just land, no light poles and nothing, just land. And I was like, this is perfect for, you know, to just build a sister community, a brother and sister community. Nunez has Benin village, where she's offering a quarter of an acre of land or a plot of land for $500 US, and that's one of the emails, folks. And some of you might have seen the videos and things, and may have not. But that's where we're going this May. So it's something that while we're there, I'm looking to just get as much documentation and really just look at everything secondhand. And we're looking to work on a project to where we can build a neighboring community with our sister and work together to where we are exploring in full sustainability, solar, wind power, catch water system, organic farming, and all of the things that we need to sustain ourselves and get off the grid completely. It's a project that's going to be a lot, but I'm going to share with everyone more as we begin to get things out online, and yeah, we'll just keep everybody posted.
Let me just share something with you, because sometimes when we get ready to make this move, as an individual, it can be difficult, okay? Right. But there were three, now these are elders. One is 76, one is 65, and, okay, they're around in that age. But these three elders came to Ghana. They came through One Africa. They bought or leased 1 acre of land. Now, there are 4 plots to an acre, and an acre, like a quarter of an acre, okay? So it's 4 of those to an acre of land. They bought an acre of land. Neither one of these brothers is married, and they have built 3 houses. They've built their own house on that acre of land, and they are neighbors, and they are a support system for one another.
Perfect.
So that's something else to think about if you're talking about wanting to come and live, and maybe it's only one sister, maybe 2 sisters, or it could be a group. As Bomani is saying, you get a tract of land, and then you build some houses on it so that you have a support system for yourself also. But I'm really proud of these guys. Their houses are now up to roofing level, and they will be moving in within the next few months. And they're building using local material, using laterite, mud, to put up their building as opposed to using concrete.
And those are the things that we're looking to push more to let everyone know. When you're looking to repatriate, think more in a sense of wanting to come and build sustainable. The African continent and the world needs to really focus more on sustainability. And what better way to be sustainable, you know, right there in the middle of, you know, Ghana, where you have all of the elements to this get to work. So everyone, we're going to, you know, make sure that you have a grand time there in Benin Village. And for those who have the skills, the background in sustainability, definitely reach out to me, build more of that energy. And also, IMAHKÜS talked to Brother Mahdi. He's building in North Georgia, and you know, he'll be ready to bring some of his great expertise. He's one of the brothers that's more wanting to do something, you know, build something, and then make it work on the continent. So we have him, Mugabe, and a lot of other folks that have, you know, we are connected over the 10 years. So we're gonna, you know, build some things, because that's what people always ask us, what have we built? So we're about to get into the building phase very soon. As a matter of fact, everyone, I've just realized the time has gone by. So what we're going to do is start wrapping it up. Any last questions? Open it up. IMAHKÜS and Ron is going to wrap it up, and then I'm just going to wrap it up so we can close out in the next 2-3 minutes.
Well, this is Anne-Marie. I enjoyed the discussion on repatriation, And it's quite interesting that right now we are in America and facing so many issues as far as immigration is concerned. And, you know, who has the right to come, who has the right to stay, who has the right to live. And just hearing the discussion as far as Ghanaian policies or, you know, rules on who can come back and live there, it's kind of quite, I don't know. I guess I have to wrap my mind around what I just heard, because to me, I would think that African countries would want to open up a little bit more to their people in the diaspora returning and contributing without maybe so many restrictions. Live in for 10 years before you can even own or buy or have residency. Some of that seems quite restrictive, if I'm, you know, and maybe someone would not have, I don't know, it just seems kind of off-putting from what I'm hearing when I think about what America is doing to those who they do not want. My thoughts.
Okay, well, let me say this. According to the law, and the law that states that you must live, they didn't say you couldn't live here. They say that you have to have lived here 10 years before you can apply for citizenship. Now, one of the things that we are working on, those of us who received our citizenship, is that we're working on having that law changed. Now, this is something that has to be done through the government, but we have an organization that we've recently put together to deal with those kind of issues, because I personally think that 10 years is a long time. It used to be 5 years, then it went up to 7 years, then it went up to 10 years. That for us, as a historically unique group, we should not have to wait 10 years in order to apply for citizenship. So we're working on that. Even in the time that you're here, if you're living here, you still have the right to lease property, to build your home, to invest in Ghana. So there are certain laws that are in place, but there are certain laws that can be changed. You have the right of abode, which is one law. You have indefinite residency. You have residency. So it's not as hard. 10 years, time goes by fast. But that is one of the things that's on the top of our list, that the amount of time required to obtain citizenship for diasporan Africans has to be less than 10 years.
Perfect, AMAHKÜS. Thank you for sharing that. And thanks for your question, Anne-Marie. Ebony, you have the last question. You're unmuted.
Okay. How, when you guys ever decided to land on that continent, did you ever begin to learn how to trust people? Because everything that we've been soaked up with in our heads is like so much negative stuff about Africa, to the point we don't even hear about that country anymore. And generally, when you talk about going to someplace new or just period out of the United States, it's like, oh, to absolutely everyone you find information from, whether it's going to get your shots, they're asking you crazy questions and really want to go there kind of thing. But it's like putting fear in people who would like to experience what it's like to utilize our own freedom. So when you guys, my question is basically, when you went out there for the first time, how did you learn how to trust any person?
Ebony, appreciate the question. I'm going to put you on mute. Me, AMAHKÜS, and Ron is going to answer it to share with everyone.
Okay. For me personally, a lot like yourself, all I ever heard about Africa was negative, whether it was in school, wherever. And I always ask people that come here, what were the responses that you got from people when you told them they were coming, that you were coming to Africa? And invariably, people said, "Oh, they mash up their face. Why would you want to go there? Nobody knows. Africa's a terrible place." We are all ignorant to what we don't know. That doesn't mean that you're an ignorant person, but you're ignorant to what you don't know. Media, Western media, has made it their business to keep us out of Africa. Now, white folks come to Africa all the time. And white folks are leaving America to come to Africa because they can live well in Africa. Well, we're here in Africa because, one, it's the land of our ancestors. Two, you can live well in Africa if you are prepared. And three, do you trust the people in America? When people say, "Oh, how can you trust those Africans?" Well, how do you trust people in America? We're going to close out in a minute, but let me say this, my sister. You have to learn to trust someone. Otherwise, you're going to live a very miserable life, okay? Everybody in Ghana, in Africa, is not a thief. Everybody in Ghana is not out to get you. And what we need to do, not just you, but all of us, is to keep an open mind and think about what you have been deprived of all of these years by not coming to Africa. Think about that. My first experience in Africa, and I'm not saying that it's all been perfect, but I would not trade living in Africa to live in America. I have 6 children, 24 grandchildren, and 11 great-grandchildren. And I miss my family, but I miss no one to the point that I would come back to America to live. And most of my family has not been out here to visit me in the 30 years that I've been in Africa. I have a large extended family out here, large, and I trust them.
That's perfect, IMAHKÜS. Thank you for sharing that. And also, I want you, if you can just wrap it up with any other updates you want to share with everyone, then I'm going to get to Ron, and then we're just going to close out.
Well, I'm going to say good night because it's now 2 o'clock in the morning here in Ghana.
IMAHKÜS, appreciate your energy and everything. And we'll definitely connect with you now. Shoot you an invitation for the next conference call early April.
Okay.
Don't hang up yet, Sister IMAHKÜS. Don't hang up yet. I just want to tell you before you leave. I'm planning on, if the Creator allows me to come in November, send me the things you need, and I'll bring them to you. Okay?
Oh, give thanks, my brother.
To me, and it's on the house because this is a very special time for you getting your citizenship. So it's on the house on me. Okay, sister?
Okay. Give thanks. Thanks so much.
Give thanks to the Almighty. Okay.
Appreciate you, IMAHKÜS. Love your energy, and thank you for this connecting with everyone and giving them this wonderful presentation of information that they are not going to hear anywhere else in the world. And everyone, once IMAHKÜS is finished, the call is not finished, so I just want to close out with IMAHKÜS so we can close out.
So just keep an open mind. Look forward to coming here and being in paradise. You don't have to die to go to heaven. This is heaven. So, night, everybody.
Good night.
Peace.
Good night. Good night, sister.
Also, Ron, appreciate your energy. Can you share with this?
Good night, IMAHKÜS.
Anything that you'd like to share as far as any recommendation or anything for the group?
Yeah, real quick here. Back to Benin Village. Family, don't miss out on the ones that are traveling in May. Don't miss out on this wonderful opportunity to go to Benin Village, and it's a place that is so beautiful. It costs you millions to buy a piece of property like what they have available there for $500. I'm not pushing it. You have to see for yourself. But it's a wonderful village, wonderful area, and I'm sure Africa for the Africans is going to open up even more opportunities in that precise area there. Back to Ebony, don't pay attention to the media out there, all that it is. You're going to hear that's been going around for all of our existence. You hear it every day from family and friends. They'll hold you back. But when you get on that plane, the first time I got on the plane to go to West Africa, there was only 10 people of our family on the plane. Everybody else was Caucasian. So they're enjoying that continent. I'm just telling people real quick, just stay focused on what your ambitions are to travel internationally, and don't listen to all of these naysayers out there. You'll get them all the time. It's always been around. I got my last one was from a college professor, and that was it. And I packed my bags and went over there because I told people before, probably on the last conference call, when she told me that I couldn't survive in Africa, and she'd been there 8 times. I said, there's something wrong with this picture. How can Caucasians go over there and I can't? And they've been telling me I couldn't go over there since I've been a small child. And they're all over that continent there. You'll see it all the time. But with that, I'll say my goodbye and make sure you plan your trip and do all the things that are recommended by Brother Bomani, so to make your journey a more pleasant trip. And I'm going to say goodbye.
Perfect. I appreciate you, Ron. And everyone, thank everyone for just being with us in this time frame. I definitely wanted to make sure that we get as much details on the recording as far as repatriation and investment, and just introduction of things. That way this world is open up to others that are listening, and let them understand that before these things were even popular, IMAHKÜS and other people went over and built a foundation, and people like myself connected on it to where we trust. And it's one of the situations where we can't have any weak link. We're a tight group, and we're about what we're about, and we help and look to connect and work with people and make it happen. And not saying that we're perfect people, but if you're looking for people to trust to do things in Africa, do the research and see where their track record and their background is. You look at IMAHKÜS, 30 years, David, about 30 years, repatriation, investment, connecting people, helping people do many things. Myself making the link to this, connect those of us that are not clear on as far as who to trust and what to trust in the African continent. And this is based on my experience. This would be the 12th and the 13th journey I'm taking to Ghana. And when you build that kind of time frame there, you're building it to where you're building that relationship, and that's how you begin to trust people. And you just have to open up and see where people are and share with people what you're about, and things like that will connect. And that's my purpose of moving here to Georgia in 2001. Was to to get from leaving out the military, was to get into elements of connecting back with my roots and culture and my own brothers and sisters, and trying to find people that I can trust and build a relationship with. I lived in Brooklyn when I was younger, and trust me, from that experience, it's just hard to trust people and things like that. But I realized that everyone have their clique and their crew and their links of what they're about, and those of us, me, IMAHKÜS, David, Ron, we're about repatriation and investment, and about really doing the hardcore work to really be a part of that growth and development on the continent. That's why I mentioned to everyone, Sister Nunette in Benin village, to where those of us that are looking to do individual things, they can belong to that community, or the one game plan that we put together to be her, the brother and sister community that we both are looking to build for our folks in the diaspora. So, it's we do need people to just connect with us as best as possible and assist us in anything that can make it grow. But we are built in a system to where we can trust and do things with each other. It's a system where we can't have weak links or any flaws. It's just like the journey that you're getting on. You already understand that it's a lot of things are involved in it, and I have to trust all of those people that we send all of that money to, from the hotels, the transportation, the crew that does repatriation, the crew that does investment, people that's going to do baggage, and people, and you have to just build that relationship, and you're going to have issues, and based on the communication and you just getting to know people, you can work it from there and far as see who to trust. So my explanation of that is for all of us in the African diaspora who are not clear on what's going on in Africa. When we as a people move, we're building these communities to where it's good energy of brothers and sisters from the African diaspora, but also We're building the communities in the neighborhood where you go to Benin Village. You see a lot of Ghanaian children, Ghanaian family. So it's not a situation where we're going to build something, for ourselves and away from everybody. It's a situation where you get to build into a family. It's ideal to have that family energy. So that's what we're looking to provide for individuals that want to really leave here. But also you have to do your research and also just do a lot more networking, and also let's communicate more, and we'll get you connected. So everyone, let me close out, and it was good talking to everyone. I appreciate everyone's questions and everything, and we'll get the recordings out to everyone. And then if you have any questions beyond what we talked about on the conference call, just send the email with your question as clear as possible, and I'll give you a reply back. Other than that, if you need to talk to me about anything, just reach out. You can call me throughout the day. Want to make sure I talk with as many people as possible, especially on the upcoming tour. And I want them to be clear on everything, the visa and things like that. If you are shy for the question and you didn't want to ask a question on the call, we can talk later or talk the next day. But please communicate and reach out, because once you get to Ghana, it's something that you have to be clear on everything. It can't be a situation where you're not clear on certain things, because everything has to be perfect, and that's the way we roll. So, family, everyone, good night. Take care, and I'm gonna connect back with everyone on the next conference call.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.